Monday, October 16th, and the Dome Foamers podcast is back. I'm your host, Christian Kruger, and I'm here with Brian Dorton. We are just lifelong Astros fans that love to talk about the Astros. So, boys, let's go. All right, episode 25, Monday night after game 2. We'll get into that in a minute.
Ugh.
First, yeah, exactly. First, I want to thank our sponsors. Our title sponsor is Two Gringos Chupacabra. Rub and season all. Two Gringos makes the finest rub, salsa, chips, jerky, and marinade you've ever tasted. If you haven't tried their products, please do it today because you don't know what you're missing. The main thing you need to know about Two Gringos Chupacabra products is that they are so good because they only use the finest ingredients and never, ever take shortcuts when it comes to quality. This is why we are proud to have Two Gringos Chupacabra as our title sponsor. You can find them in a local grocery store in your area or on their website at twogringoschupacabra.com. That's the number 2, gringoschupacabra.com. And here we go. This is my new favorite.
What is that? What you got?
This is the Chop House. Can you see it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I get it. There it is.
So when I went down there and met with Two Gringos, they gave me this. I didn't even know this was one of their blends, and it is by far my favorite. We cook it with we put it on almost everything. So
Nice.
Good stuff. This is actually yours, Brian, that we need to ship to you.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I'd love to put that on things.
I got to get that boxed up for you. But thank you to those people. We appreciate it. And their products are incredible. So, all right. We are not going to have a wake yet for a funeral of the Astros. We're we're down 0-2, which is not what I expected. I did not expect us to lose 2 games. We're going to recap it, and then we're going to talk about the doom, the gloom, and also what can happen in a positive manner moving forward. Game 1, we'll recap it real quick because there's not a whole lot to talk about in Game 1 other than Verlander pitched good enough to win.
Great outing.
Yep, he did what he was supposed to do.
He did what he did what he needed to do.
He wasn't perfect, but if you give 2 runs going into the 7th inning, that's exactly your job for him. What he needs to do. Yes, and we did not get the hits, timely hits. A lot of struggles. I thought it was interesting. I was not really overly worried, with the exception of what we're going to get into here in a minute, because I just realized that in 2017 and 2022, when we won the World Series, we lost Game 1 in both of those times.
Yeah, we were 0-1.
Correct. So this team tends to respond with their backs against the wall. Now, is there anything you want to touch on Game 1?
No. I mean, other than you called. I'll throw you a bone here. You called this mid Game 1, and you said I'm not even going to look back at that text, but it was something along the lines of this series isn't going to be won by base hits. It's the team with the highest slugging percentage is the team that's going to win this series.
Yeah,
and that game exemplified it.
100%. And what I was referencing to is we've got 3 straight base hits and did not score a run, and nor do I think we should have in that scenario. I think it went. I don't want to, but my point being is we had runners on first and second after 2 hits. We got a third, and the left field at Crawford boxes are so shallow. They're charging the ball. It was Jordan who, when Jordan gets going, he can move. He's not slow by any means. He would have been gunned by.
Oh, it was
20 feet.
He was out by a mile. That was the one time that I was really, really happy with the Pettis hold there.
Yeah, I tend to be aggressive and make them make the play, but he was gunned. My point when I said that is, so we're getting the hits. They hit a ball out of the ballpark as their second run. Their first run was a ground ball. In my opinion, I'm not saying Abreu needed to make the out, but he should have knocked it down. It went under his glove. It happened twice, and Evan Carter is fast and made the second base. So it goes as a double, and next thing you know, they get a base hit and score a run. And that's exactly why I said that. That was 2 runs, 2 slugs. I agree that happened yesterday a little bit, but there's a whole nother reason for that. Or that was game one. It happened earlier today when the day game. So let's move on to game two. We lose 5-4 earlier. You know where I'm going to begin.
Let's start
Fromber,
it. Let's go with
Fromber.
Fromber.
He can't be trusted. And here's the reason why. Hits are gonna happen. Simeon hits a ball hard underneath Pena's glove. It would have been a tough play for Pena. So that was a legit hit.
That was a good hit.
Seager hits a bloop off the end of the bat. Whatever, that happens. It's baseball. You kind of tip your hat. Well, here's where you here's where you battle. Here's where you say, all right, run on first and second. Let me get a ground ball or let me get out of this with one run. Okay. You keep your team in it. And I believe it was Robbie Grossman.
Yeah.
That hits the swinging bunt.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen Fromber not field his position? But hold on.
In his own way.
But hold on. Tough play. I will at least say tough play. He could have held the ball and it would have been bases loaded. And I still think the team up north gives up a run, maybe two. Maybe they get a base hit, sacrifice fly. But no, instead, I'm going to go full Fromber mode, which, by the way, I have my entire career on this exact play.
Yep.
And decide to throw the ball into the seats, basically, in right field. I don't understand what is wrong with him. I don't understand why he continues to do it. If this was one freak outlier, I'd be like, terrible timing. It happens every single time. I would bunt against him until he proves he can make the play because he goes in complete meltdown mode. Then 2-run score on that play, 2 errors on that play by Fromber, by the way. Then he gives up a couple hits and just not focused, and we leave the inning down 4-0 before the Rangers have even taken the field. The final score was 5-4.
Right.
He cannot be trusted. I would not pitch him again, no matter what happens. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. He needs to sit. He needs to grow up. The problem is he's 30 years old. He still does the same crap. I'm sick of it. He was offered a contract last year, and he decided to wait it out. Guess what? You're not getting that same contract anymore. He has a phenomenal arm. He has phenomenal mechanics. He has phenomenal stuff, and he has a 2-cent head. And we are fans, and we can say whatever it is. He proves it. Yeah. And when he's right, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And when he's wrong, there's no point even pitching him. And I'll let you recap one more thing. I understand that all I care about is we won or lost. We lost, right?
Yep.
I would have yanked his butt out because there's a game, because there is a day off today. I would have yanked him out after the era and just said, let's see if we can battle back with the bullpen, because he
wouldn't have left him in for another 6 innings or 5 innings.
Well, he only pitched 2+.
Oh, he went in it. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But that has happened. But no, when he makes that error, you got to put someone in there that can stop the bleeding. 2 runs is bad enough because you gifted them. You let them have 2 more runs. The pressure is all on your offense. So there's my rant. I could keep going, and I'm sure we will. But I'm gonna kick it to you and give me your thoughts and what you have to say.
I mean, so yeah, I 100%. I couldn't agree more. He gets his thinking gets in the way when he starts overthinking things. I honestly thought that the play clock this year was going to help, or the pitch clock was going to help him, because it was just going to make him get out of his own way. But you're never going to stop him with these. When he's running off that mound and he's trying to field a ball, it is 50-50 as to what's going to happen. Right. And we've seen it at least 2 or 3 times where he's bobbling the ball and chunking it into
I remember this
right
this
field.
year. This year. I remember 4.
Yeah, I
just
mean,
this year.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. I pulled up his just from today's game. I pulled up all of his stuff on Baseball Savant, like all of his pitches that he hit or that were hit into play. I mean, his placement is there. I think that when we what do we call him? Bad Framber, right? I think there's just no action on that ball, right? Because like I'm looking at a spray chart here, and he had 3 that he left hanging right in the middle of the zone.
They're catching too much of the plate.
But yeah, but they're coming up. They're not breaking hard enough soon enough, right? And they what was it? They were 8 batters in, and every swing, and I was even counting it. Every single swing that was taken that first inning made contact with the ball. Every single one.
That's a bad sign.
Including the strikeout that they missed.
Yeah.
Every single swing was making contact. And as soon as I saw that, it was this is bad Framber. Right?
You know how many lefties have his stuff? I mean, there's probably, when healthy, Shane McClanahan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right for the Devil Rays. He's got great stuff as a lefty. Blake Snell, who doesn't throw enough strikes, but Blake Snell was really good when he came up, and then he had arm troubles, got injured, kind of fell down, and now he's been back up. And it's Fromber. Like those, and I'm probably missing somebody, but from a pure stuff perspective, those are probably the top 3 lefties. And you said it, when he's not getting swings and misses, there's an issue. And it is a focus issue, man. It's positive. It's negative vibes. He's already down in the dumps. He made it himself. He threw the ball into the freaking right field.
Yes.
It's on him.
I mean, that's an own goal. Yep.
And you got to get him out. Like, we've seen this. You can't leave him in. Think about it. He makes the error. They score 2 runs on that play. Let's say you bring someone in and they give up 1 run. 3 is still better than 4. We don't know what's going to happen after that, but we lost the game by 1 run. You could bring someone in and they shut the door down because there's only a runner on second base.
Yeah.
They could be 2 runs, but instead we leave his ass in and let him melt down for 2 more runs. And before, I don't care who you are. I'm not tipping. I'll tip the Rangers on game 1. Hat tip. You know, they made the plays when they had to, and we didn't. You spot a team in the ALCS 4 runs before you even put your glove on
in the first. Yeah, in the top of the first.
You're not going to win that game.
Mm-mm.
And we almost did.
And we almost did. We almost did.
And it's just, and I'm going here. Why do you leave him in? Why do you not immediately pull Maldi? He's in there because he helps the pitchers so well and helps them prepare and know the hitters. You're down 4. He didn't help Fromber any, and I'm not putting this on Maldi. Fromber threw the ball into right. Fromber threw the ball in right field. You know what Maldi should have done? He should have looked in the dugout to Josh Miller or Dusty and said, "See ya. We got bad Fromber."
Yeah, and we definitely got bad Fromber. You should have known it right when he came off that hill and threw it into the stands.
Hey, amen. It's a different argument if we played tomorrow, but we don't. It's a travel day.
Yep.
So you have a day off, get him out.
Yeah,
and I agree. People that listen to this can say this is second guessing. No, The second he makes the error, you get him out.
I
And
agree.
maybe you get his head right and let him come into relief in a couple of games. Personally, I wouldn't pitch him unless needed. I mean, unless absolutely needed. But
I
I
mean,
don't know, man.
Montero
Go
came
ahead.
in. Montero
Yep.
came in, did his job. I I I think I've said this probably 10 times via text when Frenchie came in. I'm nervous.
Yep.
I,
I'm
I'm
too.
nervous. I'm nervous about this pitch. I'm nervous about this pitch.
Does anyone get hit harder and get outs than that guy?
Man,
And
we've
look,
been saying that. We've been saying that
yes,
since day one. But like they seem to have eyes, and whew.
you know, I'm not going to spend too. We're not going to spend too much time on him because he did put up a zero. But I
Yeah,
mean,
he did his job
I
in
mean,
the end.
like rockets hit off
Oh
him.
man,
That ball hit to Bregman to double up. What is it? Was it Tavares at third?
yeah,
That ball had
which
to be
was
hit 105, 110.
which was huge. I mean, that was
Yeah.
absolutely huge. Now I was in the
I
middle of. I think I was at that point. I was in the middle of Ubering my kids around to all of their different things, but I was listening to it on the radio, and it was very much a huge breath, because you hear that click and you know that sound even on the radio.
yeah.
You say,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
I was similar. Real quick, as my wife is a coach, I wanted it's her birthday. Even though it's late night, it was her birthday, so I want to say happy birthday,
Happy
happy birthday to her. Yeah.
birthday.
And
Happy
so
birthday.
I was doing the same thing. I had some work stuff, and I had it on the radio as I was picking up one of the kids, and um, one of them said, "Oh, this isn't good," and I just freaking took the dial and I just went, whoop, turned it off for a second. I needed to not have any road rage, but um, yeah, I'm worried about France long term because that usually works the other way. But we're not going to spend too much time on that. He did his
He had
job.
he had five hits. Five of the hits were exit
Balls put in play. You
velocities.
mean?
Yeah, balls put in play. Exit velocity greater than or equal to 97. Five of them.
What? Yeah, hard hit hit percentages calculated after you hit it 95.
Three over 100. And
Yeah,
that one,
the ball hit to third had to be hit over 100.
It was who hit that? Did
Probably Simeon.
No, it wasn't Tavares. So it was either Lowe, Young.
I thought Tavares. I don't remember. Tavares had the triple. I thought he bats ninth.
Yeah, the guys who hit it over 100 were Lowe had 102 in the fifth. Was that in the fifth? No, this was with 2 outs. Young was with.
I mean, that ball was smoked.
Yeah.
But so
Crazy.
Home runs. Bregman, I had him plus 600.
Man, that's huge. One. That was huge.
Yeah. And then the guy, if you're not looking on our YouTube channel, Brian has always had Air Jordan behind him, and he's staring right at me. I mean,
but
so here's
a sick Jordan, by the way.
Yeah. So here's my issue, and I text this to you guys as we were watching earlier. Bad baseball by Bregman. Bad baseball. He hit a home run. He is a high baseball IQ. He's one of the best postseason players.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you bring in Aroldis Chapman, who is wild, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, we've had a ton of success against him. A ton. Mm-hmm. And you swing at the first pitch and pop it up to shallow center field. Like, you have to make that guy – you have to see that guy is going to come in this game against the Astros, who have torn him a new one in the postseason, and throw strikes.
Yeah.
And after he gets one strike, then let's go. Let's play ball. And Bregman's a great 2-strike hitter. He's a great 1-strike hitter.
Did he hit the one yesterday? Did he hit that one that was in left field? Was that first pitch that almost went out? I have to look.
I don't remember.
I have to look. That was the one shot that we had at getting some runs that the first game.
But
game one.
Situational baseball, you're what, in the 7th inning down 2?
Yeah.
You have Tucker and Jordan and Abreu behind you. They're bringing in Chapman to face the lefties. We have the 2 best left-handed hitters against lefties in the ball game. Then after that, you have Abreu, and I don't think they wanted Chapman to pitch to Abreu, which they didn't, by the way. They pulled him before that.
Yeah.
So you have to work that count because then, of course, you pop up to center field. Tucker hits a ball, I think, to second base, gets out. And what does Jordan do? Takes a curveball and just destroys it and makes it 5-4.
Hits it to Pearland. Good Lord. Just crushes it.
For his second home run of the game. It's frustrating. I mean, that's the kind of things that we have done in the postseason on the positive side that we're just not doing. I mean, we're just not doing right now.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to know the situation.
I will, and I'll address another big elephant in the room, and that is I don't know where Kyle Tucker is. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he is hurt. I don't know if he is, but I'll tell you what, this is not the same guy that we were talking about a month and a half ago. You know what? Like, is MLB MVP an opportunity here? Like, that is gone. Oh, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I would do some lineup construction. I mean, we've talked about it. I would really change it up. I would move him down. I would move Brantley up. I would move Jordan up.
What do you want to see? Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I saw him at 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't like it. Now, it was only one game, and hindsight's 20/20. But I mean, the guy behind you, again, on our YouTube channel, Dorton has a picture of Air Jordan behind him.
Yeah, they're going to have to pitch to you, right?
How can you not have that guy get as many at bats as possible?
I know, I agree.
So, I mean, look, you have your back's against the wall. Is there anything else? Let's touch on that but before we go there, is there anything else you want to touch on game 2? I mean, great job, bullpen. I do want to say one thing, and it didn't happen, but I sent this on text as well. Massive mismanagement of the bullpen if we tied that game in the 9th.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Understand that.
I don't either. Abreu is. Yeah, I call him the eraser.
He threw 11 pitches. Yeah,
11 pitches.
Nuts. That's nuts.
Why don't you have him pitch the 9th? In the event that you tie it, then you have Presley for the 10th. What did we do if we tied it there? Are you bringing in Stanek in the 10th? That's all we had. I mean, Maton was burned. Yeah. Montero was burned. Abreu was burned. Presley was burned. Stanek.
Or
Hunter Brown.
Or Brown.
Horrible mismanagement. Again, day off tomorrow. Now, it didn't come back to play that way because we didn't.
You want to hear Debbie Downer is like, you mentioned that, like, what's going to happen if we tie it? And my first thought was like,
yeah,
you really think that this team can tie it right now? Like, you think that this team can do that?
If we got Jordan up.
If Jordan was up, but it wasn't. It was who was up?
No,
it was Pena and Pena, then Yanier. Oh man, Diaz, buddy. Hey,
I know.
Gift wrapped. Here is your gift wrapped time to shine. Hey, I know, I get it, but like, this is
I'm not gonna make excuses. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I'm not gonna make up. I'm not gonna make excuses for him. He needs to be in there, but no, absolutely. Hey,
Yep.
Chaz is getting hits with no one on base, but
Yeah.
when people are on base, he's not getting hits. I
No.
can call. Bregman's hitting a solo home run, but when it's
Yeah.
bases loaded, he's hitting a ground ball to third base. I mean, that's the thing, so
Altuve's not getting
no, he's
anything,
not.
and then when he does get on, he all of a sudden forgets the rules of baseball, and so I
I agree.
it's nuts. It's nuts.
It's little league stuff,
It
and
is.
that shouldn't be happening in the ALCS. Quick stat, and we can talk about Fromber melting down. We are 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position over these 2 games. 0 for 6 today. There you go. I mean, that's what you have to. Solo home runs usually do not win a game in the playoffs. Usually, it's usually the hits with runners on base.
This one had I sent this earlier. This had some expletives, but it was something along the lines of I'd usually say, like, we need to get some hits, but that's not working because we don't know what to do once we have runners in scoring position anymore.
Yep.
So
I know.
So I guess our only solution is just everyone hits a home run, and then Jordan hit a home run, and then Breggy hit a home run.
Yeah.
And then Jordan hit a home run. And it was, well, I guess so. I guess this is it. And then we did get one RBI. We got one actual, we had a runner in scoring position, and I'll be dang if we didn't hit a single and score a run. Who was that? Brantley?
Yep. Which we're about to go there. Yeah, we're about to go there. So again, I'm going to say what I think we should do, but I know it's not going to happen. I would bat Jordan second. That's not going to happen. Dusty has proven that he does not want his best, most feared hitter to bat in the 2 hole, which everything in Major League Baseball says, and every other team puts their best hitter pretty much there. I mean, Corey Seager bats second. He's their best hitter. I can go, and we've documented this on podcasts. I'm not going to go through it.
It's the new 4. It's the new cleanup.
It is. It's the new 4 and 3. Honestly, it's both.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're getting over a season, you get more bats. So he's not going to do it. So fine. We're facing Scherzer. I actually like the matchup. So let's move. We got 1 foot in the grave, right? Well, let's see if we can take that foot out. And instead of this as being a 7-game series, it's no longer a 7-game series. No. We're down. Well, you know what it is? It's about tomorrow. Or I guess we have a day off, and then Wednesday. It's about Wednesday's game. You have to win that game, or it doesn't matter anymore. You make this a 1-game series. So you go all in, balls to the wall for Wednesday's game against Scherzer. So you're going to bat Altuve first. You need to put Brantley batting second. He's proven it. He's getting on base. He works pitchers. You bat Jordan. You bat Jordan third. You bat Bregman fourth. You bat Tucker fifth. You bat Abreu sixth. You bat Yonier seventh at catcher, because either Jordan or Brantley are doing the flippy flop.
Yep.
You bat either Chaz or Dubon. I don't really care. I don't care which one.
Did you say Pena?
No, I'm batting Pena 9.
Oh, you're batting Pena 9. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, this BS with Maldi catching anymore, you need offense. That's done. He has not proven to help the pitchers, okay? If he wants to catch Verlander when he pitches again, fine. That's done. So it should be, let me recap that. Altuve, Brantley, Jordan, Bregman, Tucker, Abreu, Diaz. I'm okay with Dubon, seeing if he can spark something. Chaz is not hitting bad, but it's the same as the rest of them. He's getting hits with no one on. You can Dubon or Chaz. I go with a better offensive player, so I go with Chaz. But I get if you want to try to have Dubon spark something at 8. I have no problem hitting 8. Pena at 9. Let's go. Let's see what happens. You have nothing else to lose. You have to win. You have to win Wednesday.
Agree.
Do you think we'll see that lineup?
No. 0%.
I agree. I agree with the catching position. Do you think they move do you think we'll at least see Brantley moved up and Tucker moves down?
I mean, I can't see him. Like, I can't see him keeping Tucker where he is. I can't see it. Like,
Well, he's not going to
even
hit in front of. He's not going to hit in front of Jordan on Wednesday.
yeah, I would. It would make sense, but you can't say anything. This is like predicting what a cat's gonna do. No clue. You know,
Yeah.
like I honestly think sometimes, like maybe Dusty's like a functional alcoholic and like highly functional and just gets wasted the night before, and whatever he writes down, that's what lineup sticks. And
I saw
that's
this
the
on social
only
media.
thing.
I saw this on social media, and I know we've talked about it, but I'm gonna say this: he would rather lose with his lineup than win with someone else's.
Oh yeah. It is hubris. It is
Yep.
all about him. It is
Yep.
that's what it's that's this it doesn't matter. I mean, saying with the Maldonado argument, I mean there is no argument. I mean, there is a better catcher and there is a better offensive producer in the lineup, and he's sticking with it because he's going to die on that hill, or he's going to take everybody down with him. And I'm not saying that just the Maldonado is going to take everybody down with him, but it's the mindset of it. This is my lineup, and we're gonna all go down with this shit.
Yeah, I agree. You got to move Brantley up. He's proven it. I mean, he's come back from the dead. He hit the ball in the gap. He took the ball the other way. You got to move him up to get more quality at bats. What I love about him is he worked. And this isn't a knock on Bregman because Bregman's hit a home run. And I just want Bregman behind Jordan to kind of restart after Jordan. I mean, we have a massive problem after Jordan right now.
Agree.
I mean, so it lengthens the lineup. And again, you have to play for the series doesn't matter. 7 games, 6 games, it doesn't matter. Wednesday matters. And that's why Javier goes, you ride him until he gets in trouble, and then you pull him, and everyone's hands on deck. And there's only one team that's come back from 0-3, maybe 2 now. But I mean, it's like the percentages are so far against you. You have to go and play Wednesday like it's game 7. You have to. And then guess what? Then you have to play game 4 like it's game 7. And then stuff changes.
Then it's tied.
So let's say you go 2-2, which I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's say you go 2-2, and then it's best out of 3. Okay. So
some sunshine. Like, this is the worst. I mean, this is some of the worst offensive production I've seen from this team in a year where we have said, boy, we've seen some bad offensive production. And I think that
it's situational is the problem. Situational hitting.
Well, okay, which is a full-on offensive front, right? Like it's just not
4 runs isn't terrible in the playoffs. Now, it wasn't enough because of the meltdown, but the issue is the situational hitting is abysmal.
Yeah. Well, wait, I don't know. But I feel as though we can win 2 games in Jerryville or Jerry Complex. I feel as though we can do that. I do too. I'm much more confident in that. I mean, I'm actually a little bit confident in there's a chance that we win 3 up there in southern Oklahoma. But the problem is then we come back home.
But you can't. But I know. We don't play. We don't coach. They don't listen to us, so we can speculate all we want. There's no jinxing going on anymore. I used to be way more superstitious than I used to be, but we have no effect on it. that's why they, meaning the Astros, have to play it one game at a time. Like the true cliche, this is when it has to be that way because you can't think about getting back at home. You have to find a way to get back to home because,
Yeah, I know.
and that
You're right.
starts with Wednesday. That starts with Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You're right. So let's talk about Chris. Let's talk about Javier.
Okay.
What does he need to do in game 3 to be effective against this? I mean, frankly, this team that is probably the hottest hitting team out of the remaining 4 Major League Baseball teams.
Phillies are pretty hot, but yeah. Fair enough. I mean, the Rangers are 7-0 in the playoffs. I would have lost that bet. I don't know how many times over, but you know, he's got to. His issue is being inefficient and walking people. He cannot put extra people on base. If he gives up a solo shot to Seager or Heim or whoever, that's fine. Like, I personally think the next 2 games, there's going to be a lot of runs scored. I think in that ballpark, climate controlled as well. I think I think it's going to turn from a pitching defensive series. I think you're going to see some runs scored. So, you know, 5-6 innings, 2 runs, even 3 runs, we probably have a shot. We ripped Scherzer last time that we faced him. He's been off. He's not going to go more than 50, 60, maybe 70 pitches.
Is this his first? This is his first start
yes.
since his injury, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally, again, it could work out. It could work out great for him. I would have pitched Dunning because I think he controls the Astros lineup a little better. But again, I don't know the Rangers like I know the Astros. But that doesn't matter. I mean, they're playing with house money right now, so I get it. I understand. I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored. So to answer your question, he needs to not put extra men on base. If he gives up a big hit, move on, his goal should be 2-3 runs in 5-6 innings, and then you give it back to Abreu, Neris, and Presley, and let's move on to Thursday. I mean, that's what he has to do. His issue, what happens with him this year, is he walks somebody or gives up a hit and then gives up a hit and then gives up a hit, and I'm like, well, 1 run turned into 3, and you just can't do that against this team because they are hot. They put pressure on you. You know, that's what he has to limit the damage. It's all about damage control. I don't expect him to go out and throw a goose egg, but I expect us to score. And I expect us to score on the road in that ballpark against Scherzer. I do. And that's why I would back Brantley second, lefty, you know, get Scherzer, professional hitter, knows, you know, face Scherzer and then Jordan, and let's roll. That's what he has to do. And you turn over the bullpen and you just say, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Game 4, you know, you're probably seeing your Keedy versus either John Gray or Dane Dunning for the Rangers. That's Thursday. Game 5 is a Friday day game, assuming we get there, which I had to say because it is true. As at this point, we might not. I do think we will. I am assuming that's a Verlander back versus Montgomery.
Yeah.
Better find a way to hit Montgomery. But you got to get there first. And then off day Saturday. And if it goes any longer, it's Sunday and Monday.
Then what?
I know what he'll do. He'll pitch Fromber, and I wouldn't.
Pitch Fromber. He will. And you know what Fromber will do just to stick it to us for calling him out? He'll throw one of his no-hitters.
Well, good. That's what he needs to do to get me back in good graces. And I would take that.
Because I will say this. How many Astros pitchers have thrown a no-hitter this year?
One.
What has he done since?
How many exactly? How many Astros pitchers have melted down in the ALCS so far this year? One. Same guy. It's the same guy. That's what's unbelievable about him. You know, you could save Hunter Brown. I mean, I don't feel uber confident on that either on game 6. So, you know, it'll be him, but again, you got to win Wednesday, make it 2-1. Then you got to
I mean,
win. Then you got
we're
to win
talking about,
Thursday and make it 2-2.
yeah, we're talking about 5 year. We're planning for 5 years down the road here. We're day two.
Yes. I know you have a ceasefire with one of your buddies that's a huge Rangers fan. I know you mentioned on our preview that y'all were doing something tomorrow. I have been getting blasted on text and social media by Rangers fans. Some who I consider friends. I hate to admit it. Some that I don't and that are trolling me. Well deserved. I mean, I deserve.
Yeah.
But the thing I've said all of them. I said, congrats, y'all are up 2. You better. I'm gonna say this. You better knock them out. You better. You got them right now. You got them. Mm-hmm. You're up 2. You better knock them out.
Yeah.
Because if you let this thing keep going, then everything and we're a long way from that. But then everything shifts, and that's what I said. One of I do call a buddy, is another football coach, and he's a big Rangers fan, and he texted me as I was at baseball earlier, and with my middle child, and he said, Rangers, and I said, yeah, congrats, you're up 2. I said, he goes, looking good, and I said, you better knock us out.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, y'all are down for an 8 count, and I said, that ain't knocked out yet.
You better get those last 2 seconds.
Yes, you better knock them out.
I agree. And I'll be honest, and I think at least in Ice is kind of I think he's still pretty shell shocked from the past, decade and a half or so of getting punched in the face.
To his defense, we've been there.
Yeah. I bet been there. Get it. So he's a little bit more like he's not hammering down on the accelerator just quite yet.
I got a little bit hammer down accelerator just earlier.
But I think he also understands that this is not a cupcake Astros team right now. We are certainly not the best team that we've fielded in the past 7 years. This isn't the best ALCS team that we've put on the field in the previous 7 ALCSs.
Yeah, I love that, but they won't care. I mean, if they get us, they won't care, and nor should they. I mean, I will say that. So, anything else you want to discuss before we? I'm gonna do the throwback player of the week. I'm taking over that for this podcast from our fearless Neil Mieski, who couldn't join us due to scheduling conflicts. So, anything you want to touch on before we go there?
No, let's put these 2 behind us. Let's go up to Canada and score a crud ton of runs.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up with that. But so now we're going to move on to the throwback player of the week, and that is sponsored by Victoria Equipment Auction and the fine people there. At Victoria Equipment Auction, their number one goal is to get you the best price for your equipment in a hassle-free professional manner. Whether you're part of a large corporation looking to clear old equipment out of your inventory or an individual interested in selling a single piece, Victoria Equipment Auction is ready to go to work for you. Just drop off the equipment and they will take care of the rest. You can find them at victoriaequipmentauction.com. Our good friends of Kenny and Kevin Griffin have been doing it a long time. You also can call Clay, who handles the auction, that their next auction is going to be December 2nd. And you can call him at 361-935-2444 and ask for Clay. These guys will take care of you. Anything you're selling, they will take care of it for you. So I appreciate them sponsoring the Throwback Player of the Week. And as I have full reign to do the Throwback Player of the Week, and I had, it's just one of the people I was a fan of. And Neil, I had to go back through all the Astros over our podcast history here because we were on episode 25 that he has done. I am going with David Stanley Smith, the closer
Okay.
of the
Ooh,
Astros in the 80s when we were
yeah.
kids.
Dave
Before
Smith.
there, this Dave Smith, number 45, but number 1 in your hearts. I just decided to make that up. But he was number 45, and it was really before there was a closer defined role. He kind of started some of that. He was kind of in that wave. So he pitched for the Astros from 1980 to 1990. Also finished his career with the Chicago Cubs. He was drafted in the 8th round by the Astros. He was born January 21st, 1955, in Richmond, California. And unfortunately, rest in peace, died December 17th, 2008, at the age of 53 by a heart attack.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I knew that he passed. I didn't know it was that long ago. His career win-loss record is 53-53, which obviously he was a reliever and closer. Career earned run average was 2.67. 548 strikeouts. Yeah, 548 strikeouts, 216 saves, two-time All-Star, 1986 and 1990. Obviously, in '86, that's when the Astros went
Yeah.
to the National League Championship Series. He also pitched in the playoffs in 1980 against the Phillies as a rookie. He got fifth. He was fifth place in voting for the Rookie of the Year in 1980. And as I said, he was drafted in the 8th round of the Major League Baseball draft, 169th overall in 1976. Yeah, those are the stats for Dave Smith. One of the first guys that I ever remember following, coming in out of relief and being a shutdown guy. You had the guys in the 70s that were starting to pitch multiple innings, like the Raleigh Fingers of the world, and he
Yeah.
was more of a one inning guy. This was kind of the beginning of the era of the setup role / then the closer role. He was a stud. I mean, I would have lost if I would have said his career ER
2.67.
2.67.
Oof.
Yep. He
Yeah.
pitched in the
I would have.
famous he pitched he pitched in the famous long 18 inning game with the Mets in '86.
Oh,
He
yeah.
came in for Bob Nepper and pitched some of the 8th and the ninth. Just some cool things that he's been a part of. Um, he has 3 children as well. I saw he was part of the San Diego School of Baseball for nearly 30 years. So he started some program there in San Diego. What a horrible place to live.
Terrible weather.
Yeah, terrible weather. So, I mean,
the
go ahead. Yeah, go
idea
ahead.
the idea of, like they're just, there's no such thing there. What is this? What is a closer? What does that mean? You know, could you imagine the first time you had to go and tell Nolan Ryan, I tell you what, bud, you're pitching a hell of a game. You're doing great. We're going to go ahead and cap you we're going to cap you at 90 today.
Yeah.
Or we're going to cap you in the 7th, and we're going to go ahead and pull you in the 7th. Who draws straws and has to go tell Nolan that?
I can tell you, if I'm
I mean,
Dave Smith, it ain't
not
gonna
it.
be me.
Not it. Not it.
No, no. Yeah, I agree. Couple things real quick, and then he holds the Astros record for games pitched. I did not. I mean, I knew he pitched a lot. 586 games he's pitched. That's still
Oh,
an
wow.
Astros record today. Yeah. He's third in Astros history in ERA. So his ERA for the Astros is actually 2.53. So third in Astros history. He has 199 saves with the Astros and that was number 1 until Billy Wagner passed him.
Wagner. Yeah.
So there's some cool things, man.
That's awesome.
I mean, he was a hell of a pitcher.
Yeah. I remember.
He
I
really
remember him.
He really was. So wanted to do a little shout out to the 80s when we were kids and became fans. And when the teams had a couple of years of being good, but most of the times they were very, very average. He was a 2-time All-Star. We referenced this last week before the ALCS. I mean, my kids don't know anything better than the Astros being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be a rude awakening for him when that changes.
I just Googled, by the way, I just just gave a Google for him real quick, and the first thing that popped up was that his Topps baseball card that I had about 400 of. I think I had more Dave Smith, the Topps one with when they have the striped
Yep.
the striped uniform
shoulders
here. Yep. I don't remember what year. I don't remember what Topps year that was. But that's the picture that came up, and I just instantly.
I'm gonna predict that is, and I, without seeing it, because I had it too. Because you know, I remember back. I'm predicting it's 1986.
Yeah,
top set.
I want to say 1986, but I'm not sure. But yes,
yeah,
and it's always funny because like there's always a couple of those players that there's just a ton of them, and so I remember I had so many of his for whatever reason. Yeah.
The 80s, and really the mid to end 80s ruined baseball card collecting for a long time. There's just so many duplicates and quantities out there of even good players.
86 is the black border at the top.
Yep.
With the Astros and then the name at the bottom.
Yep.
Remember that? It's like it's just like all black. Yeah. And and that's his. That's the same.
Well, that's when we were quote unquote second grade, and I mean we were collecting. I mean I have Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're just so many that they're just not worth a ton because of how many that have been created. Now the new thing, you know, with me having two boys, the new thing now is these Bowman prospect cards. Who Topps bought Bowman, by the way, and so they're prospect cards and they're rare, like they're numbered. So, for instance, you know, the number one prospect in the minor leagues is Jackson Holiday, Matt Holiday's son, who's with the Orioles. Shocker, they've got more coming. Cool. I've got a couple of numbered cards that I've got of his. Like one of my cards is like 42 of 50, so they've only made 50 of this card.
Okay.
But the thing is, and they go for a bunch of money. But the thing is you have to hold on to them to see if they actually, you know, make it and become players. But that's the new thing, is the prospect cards, because
that's pretty cool.
The cool thing is they don't make a ton of them. The hard part is you got to find them. So it's different. It's different now. And COVID, man, when COVID happened in 2020, no one was doing anything, and cards went through the roof. You know, people were buying and selling cards. Yeah,
I remember that.
And then they've came back. They came back down. But
yeah. Good times. Yeah,
man. So I don't have anything else. We wanted to wrap the first two games up and hopefully flush the first two games. And now
they're gone. They're done.
It's a 1-game series. It is a 1-game series. I do want to appreciate everyone who's liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel. Please do so. Tell your mom, tell your mom's mom, tell your friends. Neil, has put out some hilarious TikToks. And we're on Facebook and Twitter. And thank you to all the Twitter Rangers fans that have mentioned me in their mentions. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. I have deleted all of you.
Store it.
Yeah, I've deleted and saved. But you know what? It's not over till you get to 4.
It's not there yet.
And they are halfway there. Tell Ice Blakey, congratulations personally from me. But you better knock out the champ. You better knock him out. And Dorton, anything else you got?
That's it, man. Let's go up there and wreck shop.
I'm actually going to enjoy the day off tomorrow of no baseball from the Astros. Take a little break. We've got 7th grade football, so it'll be nice, and then back at it. So with that being said, episode 25 is a wrap. Go Stros.
Go Stros.